Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Jaren and I are here to dust off the mics, but before we get started, we would just like you to join us in a moment of silence for the one and only Stan Lee.
All right, welcome back to the Children of Film podcast. We're omitting the intro this week for that because, Stan Lee, you've heard the news. It was a couple of weeks ago. He's a modern-day hero, created so much happiness for so many people, and he deserves to be respected like that. But now let's get the sadness out the way. Rest in peace, you great, great man. Thank you for all the good times.
Thanks
Jacob,
for showing us we can
boy,
all
is
be
it good to be
heroes.
back. Oh,
It is
honestly.
really good to be back. It's been too long. We've missed out on a lot of stuff. We're not gonna, go on and on about that, but we're definitely gonna try and get started in the lead up to the coveted Children of Film Awards in a few months' time.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe 3 months' time. So once we're not allowing it to start until we've seen the Sisters Brothers, because Jake Gyllenhaal must be at least eligible to be included.
Exactly.
It could be the first.
He's
It's going to be the first year he doesn't win Best Actor simply because he doesn't have any lead
Yeah.
roles. So it's gonna be interesting.
Unfortunately.
How you been?
Could he make it 3 awards in a row? I've been good. I finished university. This year's semester in university
same.
about a month ago, and then I work in retail, and we rolled into Christmas. So now I'm doing 40 hours a week, Monday to Friday, 5:30 a.m. and I'm just knackered all the time, to be honest with you.
Long story short, it's too hard for us to, we're not free at the same time very often. Even tonight took a lot of coordination, but we are going to try and get back into it.
I was actually meant to be busy tonight, but I was too fucking rooted from work. I was like, nah, I'll stay in. I'll just do this. I booked everything off to be here, Jacob. Yeah.
Excellent.
This is a number one priority.
Booked off a busy day of sitting around watching films and hanging out. Yep.
Masturbating, yeah.
All right.
That's about it.
Yeah. So let's get started with our diary display where we talk about stuff we've been watching lately. I'm going to jump around between months a little bit here, just skip some stuff just to get to the nitty gritty of a lot of the new releases I've been watching lately. So last month I did check out some stuff at the British Film Festival and I really enjoyed a lot of that. There was Anna and the Apocalypse, which is a Scottish zombie Christmas musical, and it wasn't as good as I hoped it would be, but it was pretty good. I also saw Stan and Ollie there, which was awesome. John C. Reilly and Steve Coogan are fantastic, and it's a real crowd pleaser. I saw a movie called Pincushion, which might be the most bleak and depressing coming of age movie I've ever seen. It's like Mean Girls if Mean Girls made you want to kill yourself afterwards. Yeah. And then my favorite of that was Colette, which comes out here pretty soon, starring Keira Knightley as this French novelist, and it is absolutely brilliant, and she is sensational. What else have I watched lately? Let's jump around here. Well, we watched the new Fantastic Beasts movie, which I liked, didn't love, but I found it really enjoyable. What do you think of that one?
Yep. I agree. But I liked it a little bit more than you, and it's getting panned by critics and fans alike, to be honest. But I found a lot of enjoyment of it, and it made me excited for the next installment. I think the last fight was kind of CGI heavy and kind of out of nowhere, but it was a bit autopilot. But I think the world's fleshed out really good. There were plenty of fun creatures. I love the characters. And I thought, I don't like Johnny Depp as a human being at all, but I thought he was pretty good in the movie. Yeah.
Lately, we both saw Widows came out, which was really, really good. I thought it was let down a little bit by the script, but Steve McQueen directed the shit out of it, and there are some incredible shots and framing in there. We saw The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Have you watched that yet?
No.
You should get on it. It's a bit messy, but there's a couple of the shorts that honestly, just watch the first 3 shorts.
I watched the James Franco one.
Watch 1, 2, and 4, and then just turn it off for the rest,
James
and
Franco
you're good. Number 2. His is really good. The first one, the Buster Scruggs one, is great, and then the 4th one with Tom Waits is also quite good. The other 3 are just kind of very, very and they all get longer as they go along. Like it's really tedious. The best short's only like 10-15 minutes, and then there's one that's almost 40 minutes long, and it's a real slog.
Oh shit!
Yeah, the pacing is weird.
Yeah, this is a roaring endorsement.
Just watch 1, 2, and 4. They're really good. Or the whole thing. I don't know. Let's get to this month. We watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which we will be talking about in a bit. I saw Creed 2, which if you want to jump in and talk about that a bit, I liked it. Nowhere near as much as the first one, but I thought. I don't know, the first one's all about sort of letting go of the past and stuff, and then it's like, hey, he's going to fight Ivan Drago, and it's going to be all about wallowing in the past, and I'm like, I mean, Ivan Drago's kid, but all the acting was still great, the boxing was pretty good, but there wasn't really the flair that Coogler had, and it was just, it was missing some of those electrifying scenes to get you out of your seat.
Yeah, I agree. As the resident Rocky expert...
I know nothing about Rocky, so a lot of it was probably lost on me.
Yeah, I love all these films except 5 is not good. But I like Rocky Balboa, love 4, love 3, love 2, love 1. And my favorite one is actually Creed. I think that's the best Rocky movie. And this one, just like you said, it's got a powerful story. I really enjoy all the stuff with the Dragos, although it should have been.
Yeah, I didn't not enjoy it.
Out,
I just didn't know if it was entirely necessary.
Yeah. And I think, if anything, there should have been more of them. I think what they did worked. All the Adonis stuff is still really good. The way they move that story forward, the way they progress his character, he does a lot more progressing than Rocky does through 2 and 3. And all the stuff that connected to Rocky 4, I really, really enjoyed. There were a lot of references, a lot of throwbacks, a lot of plot threads you would never have thought would be continued. And but to be honest, some of the most touching stuff outside of some personal stuff that happens to Creed that's spoilery, some of the most touching stuff came from the Dragos. But and I like that a lot. Because in Rocky 4, he's just a menacing guy. You don't know anything about him at all. This is the movie that changed that.
Yeah.
And actually adds weight to that film, to be honest.
I think they still left... Yeah. They left a lot of it under the surface, though. I think they could have... I mean, I don't want stuff spoon-fed, but I reckon they could have gone way more into the Drago's characters.
Yeah. And I think this one was a lot more... Rocky sequel style fighting, whereas in every hit is a hit that would kill a man. As in the first Creed was a lot more standard boxing stuff, I think that's just the way they're choreographed differently, the way they're shot differently. But like with the huge Russian, every time he throws a punch, if that actually hit a real life, even professional boxer, lights out. It was a bit cartoony, but I like that because it leans into the sequels of the Rocky. But this thing, it kind of breathes both into what Creed did and what Rocky did, and I really liked it.
The other day I watched The Big Steal on our pal Blake's recommendation. It's starring very, very young Ben Mendelsohn, and it's just sort of this crime caper / rom-com about him trying to get his car back from a dodgy car salesman. And it's like every 90s Aussie comedy. It's goofy and dated, but it's charming. I enjoyed it. I've rewatched a lot of stuff lately because I've just been fucking showing friends and family and stuff. Rewatched Straight Outta Compton, which was a lot of fun. By the way, have you checked out Ice Cube's new album?
Yeah, I've listened to like the first 6 songs, and they're all
what do you reckon?
Really good, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm freaking loving it. Okay,
You should listen to it if you're into that kind of stuff.
For sure, if you're into his music, definitely get around it. Fuck, we're so white.
Oh yeah.
Yes. A couple of days ago, I had a really, really freaking fun night. I went to see Best Friends Volume 2. I saw Volume 1 earlier in the year, which was a lot of fun. If you don't know, it's the movie that Greg Sestero wrote and starred in alongside Tommy Wiseau, and it's mental. It's on the same spiritual level of The Room. And Volume 2 wasn't quite as good as Volume 1, but it was really, really awesome nonetheless, and it was really weird. And there's some dude, a character who probably has more dialogue than anyone, called Uncle Rick, and he's literally just like the poor man's Clint Eastwood, and everything he says is fucking hilarious. He's just this fucking macho man who's doing pull-ups all the time and fucking just spouting one-liners, and it was mental. But I got to meet Greg Sestero, which was fucking cool. Jaron got to meet him a couple years ago for the Disaster Artist premiere. He's a really cool dude, and it was really fun watching him talk about the movie. And then I watched The Room on the big screen again, so that's my 4th time, becoming a bit of a veteran. Definitely going to do it again. My first time was with this man here, and it was fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, one of the best.
Then last night I watched Mowgli: Legend of the Jungle, which dropped on Netflix recently. I was actually I'd been kind of keen for it for a while, but it really kind of let me down. I don't really have any issues with Serkis's directing. I think he did a good job. The motion capture is pretty good. I appreciate it's a darker vision. Like, there's no songs. Baloo looks like he's been on a 10-year meth bender. He looks just... he's not charming at all. He's just like... Andy Serkis plays him. Yeah, it's unpleasant is the way I would describe it. Because that's my problem with this movie. And it's not unpleasant because it's dark. I admire it being dark, but it doesn't quite go all the way with it. It's more the character design and the tone and the CGI are just kind of baffling. The CGI is pretty bad. I mean, I know it's got a pretty high bar with the Disney one, but even without comparing it to that, the characters are just disgusting to look at. They've all got weird, huge, wide mouths, and they're all kind of designed to look a bit like the actors playing them. Like, they don't look like they have human faces or anything, but just the animal's features. Like, the tiger has the same facial structure as Benedict Cumberbatch, and it's really fucking weird.
Oh, I want to watch this now. You've turned me back on it.
It looks really fucking strange, and they're real gross looking, and none of the characters are really likable, and, you know, it has the sensibilities of a kid's movie, but then it also does stuff that would horrify little kids.
So they didn't really pick a tone. They just kind of
I don't know who it's for. There's one thing I want to say, but it's like major spoiler, so I won't. But it's very, very
I will watch it.
It is very contradictory, is all I'll say, and I'll let you know.
Does it make you retroactively like the Disney one more? I know you didn't love that.
I liked it. Yeah, I liked that a lot.
I love it. I think it's fucking great.
I was a big fan of it.
John Favreau's the man, eh? He'll kill Lion King, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. So yeah,
Australian slave.
Mowgli, again, I don't think it's like a terribly bad film. I just did not get any joy out of it, or I'd probably just give it like smack bang in the 5 out of 10 sort of range.
Nice.
And then this morning I watched Mysterious Skin, which is something I've been meaning to watch for a couple years, and I absolutely fucking loved it. Like, it is one of the best movies I've watched all year. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is maybe his career best performance. He's so good. Brady Corbett is really damn good. And it's like, I don't know, I went in not really knowing anything about the plot, so I don't really want to say anything, but it is really, really hard to watch. It's really, very sad, tough to watch subject matter, and the last 10 minutes really broke me down, and I kind of want to watch it again. So yeah, fantastic Mysterious Skin, highly recommended. Definitely want to check out more of Gregor Araki stuff. Yeah, came out in 2004. Yeah, so good. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me. Jaren, what have you been up to?
I'm going to go through mine fairly quickly, just some notable stuff I've seen. Mainly stuff from this year. Halloween, very good. Wildlife, fucking excellent, fantastic.
Gyllenhaal's amazing.
So
Terry Mulligan's amazing. Ed Oxenbourg's amazing.
Oh, they're all so good. Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody, no good.
I liked it.
Thanos poster.
I liked it.
Apostle, very good.
Loved it.
Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween, no good.
You watched that?
Yeah, I took my brother and sister.
Oh, fair.
Good surprise. Good last act, actually. The last act was actually
right on.
Quite
Still
got
to watch the first one.
No good. Widows, very good. Robin Hood, no good.
Oh, you watched that?
I did watch Robin Hood.
No good?
No.
Is it worth me going out to see? I was thinking about it.
Nah, man, no.
What about Mortal Engines?
I'm getting to that. The Grinch, no good. Mortal Engines, no good. Overlord, so good. Very, very good.
I'm seeing that Saturday. I'm so excited.
I'm going to talk a little bit more about Overlord instead of just saying no good. I have to say, first of all, it's a fucking insane blast of
Don't
fun
give
from start
away
to finish.
plot stuff for me, but yeah.
I'm just going to say, if you don't know what it is, basically it's set in the 1940s and American soldiers go over fighting World War II. They go into France, which is occupied by Germany, and they discover a plot to create zombies. It's got legitimately jaw-dropping, like award-worthy fucking cinematography, which is something I did not expect. One of my favorite musical scores of the whole year, honestly. Whenever it swelled up, it was fucking brilliant. The practical.
Do you know who did it, or?
Not off the top of my head, no. The practical effects are what I came for. These grindhouse kind of era blood capsule, and it's not just blood capsule. You know, there's some insane makeup kind of designs with fractures and just stuff that happens to people. Something happens to some guy's neck, and
it's rated R, isn't it? And like R in Australia, 18 plus.
It's a hard R. Yep. And it's led by some insanely charismatic performances all around, honestly. And honestly, like a horror sci-fi kind of dystopian set in the past starring a Russell. This is a John Carpenter film, man, being released in 2018.
Fuck yeah.
And you can actually really tell that John Carpenter was kind of looked up upon when making this film.
I'm looking for the
Copying the Master
composer.
has done nothing but great things for this kind of movie. It's exciting, it's gory, it's hilarious, legitimately. And the thing I like about this is the core group of people. So take Predator. This is basically Predator if Predator was great. See, the Predator that came out this year, 2018.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed the violence in that.
Yeah, and I like Predator a lot too, man.
No wonder the score's great. It's by Jed Kurzel. Aussie man.
Yeah. But Predator, the core group of people, everyone is cracking jokes. Every single fucking person. In Overlord, you got your core group of people. It's about the same amount, maybe a few less, maybe like 5 or 6 core group.
Who would you say is the standout?
The funny guy. I don't know. Just let me say the funny guy is always really funny. Again, Wyatt
The
Russell,
funny guy.
well, as in, I can't remember his name. I think it might be John Magara. He's kind of Italian American. He is like the comic relief. The main Jovan Adepo, who plays Boyce, the main character, he never makes any jokes. Wyatt Russell, who plays Ford, he's always calm, collected, and jokes are made through that, but it's never anything forced. Everyone feels like they just feel legitimately like people, and when they're going through these things, it's really emotional. Whenever they do things, it just feels so legitimate. It's just
I'm so keen.
fucking good, man.
Seeing it Sunday.
And I'm gonna see it. I'm seeing it again. And I don't do that often anymore because I spend my money on alcohol. But
I would have seen it opening day, but I'm waiting until I can take my mum because it's gonna be right up her alley.
See it, man. It's fucking great. And that's about it for me.
Hell yeah. So yeah, it's been pretty good year so far. I don't think it's been anywhere near as good as last year.
Probably not.
I've only given 3 movies a perfect score, but I won't tell you which. Jaren, you've given 1. I think we know which, but yeah. But no, there's a lot of stuff I'm really keen for on the horizon. But anyway,
to be fair, there are 2 other movies that came out in the same kind of ballpark as that one, and they're both like low 4 out of 5 ish. So it's not a genre bias. But anyway, okay, go on.
What genre, man?
Just defending.
All right, so we don't really have much news today, but we could touch on this whole Oscar host debacle.
Yes.
So yeah, basically, Kevin Hart signed on to become the Oscar host. At first I was like, oh, god damn it. And then over the next couple of days, I was like, you know what? He'll probably do all right. And then he stepped down because, the only thing that can defeat powerful Hollywood people is homophobic tweets from 9 years ago.
No shit.
So he stepped down, and I think it's a bit of a shame. I mean, obviously, shitty jokes, bad taste, but not everyone's done it. But as you know, we were probably on James Gunn's side in that whole debacle, so it is a bit of a shame. But now they're talking about not having a host at all because no one wants to do it.
What the? Honestly, get Jimmy Kimmel again.
I would big support him.
But I think. In this, at the moment, they're not going to get someone like a Ricky Gervais or anyone like that.
Anyone who's going to be too offensive.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah, I'd rather like you said, I'd rather no host than, like, Tiffany Haddish. God, I would kill myself.
The whole show will be her bragging about how she's hosting the show.
And whose parties she goes to and stuff. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But I've seen people campaign for it, like Nick Kroll and John Mulaney.
I would love to see those two do it. They've hosted the Indie Spirit Awards a few times.
Yep. I was about to say last year, and I rewatched their monologue for that, the last year's one, and dude,
really?
It's a riot.
Nice.
It's so good. Yeah. Yeah, really.
I would love that. I would like. I saw some article about Bruce Campbell potentially doing it. I'd be on board with that.
That'd be sick, to be honest.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who I think could
I'd
do a
love-
good job. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, surely.
Yes, to promote. Ryan Reynolds Deadpool was sick. I'd gonna say if it came out a few months later to promote Sherlock.
Detective
Holmes.
Pikachu.
How sick would it be if John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell?
Oh, that would be sick.
That'd be amazing. But yeah. I mean, I was gonna say like get a Seth Rogen and James Franco type, but he's already done that once, so it's probably not the route you want to go.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, please. I don't want it to be no one. I like.
I like having a host, and I like having an
seeing
open
people have a crack
monologue
at
and
it.
shit. Can we bring
Yeah,
Seth
yeah.
MacFarlane back? I enjoyed him.
Oh, he was the best. And now we can do We Saw Your Boobs about Emma Stone. Dude.
I'm very excited for The Favourite. No reason.
For one reason.
No reason. Just
Two
think it looks like a
reasons.
really good movie. Actually, only one apparently, but I'm
I've got
really
two
keen for the
reasons.
movie.
Oh, one reason. Still.
All jokes aside, though, that's probably the movie I'm looking forward to most for the rest of the year. I can't fucking wait. Looks awesome.
One
Anyhow,
would be Instant Family.
should we just talk about like the Golden Globes now, real quick, while we're on the subject?
Yeah, go on.
Because we're going to
Golden
talk
Globes.
about it a bit later. Golden Globes and Critics' Choice Awards. Just the talk about the old nominations real quick. I'm actually just pulling up a list now. That's how this is the most organized podcast on the internet, man.
Literally once every 4 months, and we're just googling shit the whole time. That's what you get when you live so far away from each other.
While I look for this, I will say I was very disappointed with the lack of love for First Man. It's one of my favorite films of the year. Yes, I'm a Damien Chazelle shill, I know. But it only got Claire Foy supporting actress, which I'm hugely in support of, and the score, which I think is also essential. But they left out Gosling, man. That's the one that really. I wasn't really expecting him to give Chazelle director, which I mean I would have put him in, but and picture, but the Gos, man, I think it might be his career best performance.
And honestly, some of the people that got in above him, I've seen all of the nominations for Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama, and
Who we got?
there's not many that I would put above Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, so for Best Lead Actor, we've got Bradley Cooper, Willem Dafoe, Lucas Hedges, Rami Malek, and John David Washington. The only one of those guys I'd have above Gos is Rami Malek.
I would not have Rami Malek above Gos. He'd
Sorry?
down the bottom. I would not have him above the Gos.
Yeah, but you didn't like the movie, though.
I think he was good in it.
The movie's like barely in my top 50, but his performance, I think, is fucking sensational.
Yeah.
Gonna be an interesting Children Film Awards, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, Cooper and Hedges would definitely be on my list. Dafoe was fantastic, but I did not like that movie. And John David Washington is great too. So it's good to see him. It's cool seeing Black Klansman being an awards player. I'm actually really on board with it over some of the other ones.
Yeah.
Over like Bo Rap. I really like Bo Rap, but I have some fundamental issues with the way they change history.
When I rewatched Black Klansman, I liked it less than the first time. I think it's really good.
I just bought the Blu-ray today, actually, but I have seen it twice, and I really, really love it. So of the Best Picture nominees, I've seen 4. We got Black Klansman and Bo Rap. Bo Rap's probably just because, I mean, dude, that movie's a huge crowd pleaser. I know 3 people who it's their favorite film of the year. Like, people are really on board.
Yeah, there's no shit. Like, look at IMDb, look at the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Audiences love it, man.
I'm confused because, like, my main issues with it are how they change history and, you know, move his AIDS diagnosis forward by 2 years and have the band break up, which didn't happen in real life. That's the stuff that annoy me. But I have a friend who's literally the biggest Queen fan I've ever met, and it's her favorite of the year. And I'm like, how can you allow that?
Her.
How can you allow that?
Yeah, I don't get it. It's got an 8.4 on IMDb. That's fucking nuts.
But like, again, I love the movie. I just have some issues that prevent me from going any higher with it. Star is Born, again, I really, really liked. I'm okay with that winning all the awards, even though it wouldn't be in my top 20. But and then Black Panther, I'm not happy with. I think it's a good movie, but I think it just fits in with a lot of the other middle tier MCU movies. And I think Infinity War is much, much better comic book movie from this year.
Yeah, I think there's 2 better comic book movies from this year.
Yeah, well, a lot,
probably 3 to be honest.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, but Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. But to be honest, I'm happy that superhero movies are.
It's definitely going to get
more love
nominated
than
for Best
normal.
Picture at the Oscars. It got in at the Critics' Choice as well.
That's awesome. I don't think it belongs there, but I think
Yeah.
that's cool.
Like, I mean, yeah, people are saying, like, you know, why can't you just be happy that a comic movie's getting nominated? But, like, I don't just want a comic movie to arbitrarily get nominated. I just want the ones that are award-worthy. Like, I was pushing pretty hard for Logan last year.
I can't believe they skipped Logan.
Because I think
but
it's
gave
an
Black Panther. That's
award-worthy
crazy.
film. Stuff like The Dark Knight probably deserves some awards. I mean, it got one
See,
at the Oscars, but...
To be honest, I threw out this category and taking it seriously when they nominated Bohemian Rhapsody. Whatever.
Yeah, honestly...
I don't like that movie at all. Like, I really don't like it. And the fact that it got nominated for Best Motion Picture, I think is a fucking joke.
I mean, I get it. A lot of people loved it. I mean, even I loved it. Again, not like in my top 40 of the year.
I know I'm in the
really
minority.
liked it.
Even critically, it's got.
But
like
critically, yeah,
55,
it's got
60.
average reviews. But it is. I've experienced it firsthand. It's a major crowd pleaser. If Beale Street Could Talk is the one we haven't seen, I'm really looking forward to that. It's just a shame we're not going to see Damien Chazelle versus Barry Jenkins round 2. Unless the Critics' Choice are prescient, because
here,
First Man
anyway.
did get 10 nominations there, including
Shit,
picture,
yes.
director, actor, actress. So there's still
Good.
hope. Critics' Choice
But
did predict the Oscars last year pretty well.
I'm so keen for Beale Street Could Talk.
Very that and in the musical or comedy Best Picture category, I'm a bit more okay with. We got Vice, which I've actually seen only one of these, but we've got Vice, which I'm very excited for. Mary Poppins Returns, Green Book, The Favorite, and Crazy Rich Asians, which is the one I've seen. You weren't a fan of it, were you?
Oh no, that movie's bad. Why did that get nominated for Best Picture? It's bad.
Again, I really liked it.
You like that movie?
Yeah, I thought it was a really solid rom-com.
Oh, I think it's really bad.
I
I didn't like it at all. And I love rom-coms, but I thought that was bad. The thing is, two of the movies in Best Motion Picture Drama have more music in them than any of the 5 nominated for musical or comedy.
Although they're not musicals, so I get it.
They're music-oriented, man. Musical doesn't mean song and dance while talking.
I guess they've tightened up the definition.
They shouldn't, but it's not the definition.
I'm not bothered about that. But yeah, maybe if they hadn't tightened it up, then we could have had First Man in there, you bastards. I'll just go through some of the other bigger categories. Lead actress. Something I haven't seen the film, but I'm really glad to see Rosamund Pike got nominated for lead actress for the film A Private War. I'm definitely.
I don't even care about the movie. But
I think apparently it's really good, and I'm definitely gonna try and seek it out. I don't know if it's coming to theaters here, but I'll try and seek it out. Melissa McCarthy, Can You Ever Forgive Me? We saw that together. If you watched our Adelaide vlog, she's of this crop. I hope she wins the Oscar because
that'd be amazing.
of this lot, she's my favorite. We got Nicole Kidman for Destroyer, which I'm keen to see. Glenn Close for The Wife, and Lady Gaga, Star Is Born, who I think is gonna win.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. I'll just hit.
I know. I wouldn't be mad, to be honest.
No,
she's really,
I'll be alright with that. Who else we got? Comedy. We got Emily Blunt for Mary Poppins, Olivia Colman for The Favorite, Elsie Fisher for 8th Grade, which is pretty cool. Charlize Theron for Tully, and I'm lukewarm on that movie, but she is great in it.
I love that movie. I think it's fucking great.
Constance Wu for Crazy Rich Asians, who is also quite good in that, I reckon.
No.
Dude,
I just want to.
I even enjoyed Aquafina in that. I'm sorry.
What? Really? Yeah. Holy shit. Okay. I've just got to do a Kanye West moment and go, hold up. All these actresses nominated for Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama. Congratulations. I'm sure you're very good. The ones I have seen, I know you're very good. But the fact that Toni Collette wasn't nominated for Hereditary, I think
that's not a comedy or drama category. Yeah, no.
Drama.
Yeah.
Man, I think is a fucking travesty. I think if instead of a popularity contest, if these people had watched all of the best performances of the year and had done a fucking tally and had actually paid attention to the content given to them, there is no doubt that fucking she would be up there.
She did get nominated at the Critics' Choice.
Good. If she's not nominated for an Oscar, I will be legitimately pissed. She is,
and that's not just drama. That's
brilliant.
just overall. So
yeah,
there's
she
a chance.
is fucking brilliant, and I think probably maybe the best performance of the year. She is on another level, and I think that's ridiculous. But My piece.
Nah,
That's all.
I'm with you. She's amazing in that movie. I would love to see her get nominated. Freaking best
All I get
actor.
is your fucking face on your face.
Fuck. Best actor in a musical or comedy. I'm pretty happy with these. Christian Bale for Vice, who could go on to win the Oscar. Lin-Manuel Miranda for Mary Poppins Returns. I don't know if he's just come along with the movie, but he is an insanely talented dude, so I'm on board. Well, we'll see what happens when I see the movie. Viggo N-Word Mortensen for Green Book. Robert Redford for Old Man the Gun, which is very well deserved. And the one I am very, very happy with and surprised by is John C. Reilly for Stan and Ollie. He's excellent in that. I would actually say Steve Coogan's even better, but Riley probably has the showier role, and I definitely get it. And I'm on board with either of them getting recognition.
Awesome.
All right, I'll just go through the other acting categories. Supporting actress, I really is pretty awesome. Claire Foy, First Man, who again only one I've seen, but super on board. Regina King, If Beale Street Could Talk. Emma Stone for The Favourite, and Rachel Weisz for The Favourite. Now that's a dream team right there, man.
Oh yeah. Oh.
And Amy Adams for Vice, who could finally win her Oscar. Although I think it's going to be Regina King for Beale Street, from what I've been hearing.
And I'd be keen for that. I hope she could. I hope it's Emma Stone, but
I always hope it's Emma Stone.
Hey, right? Always. But I love all of these people.
Supporting actor, it might be my favorite category of the night. And for a movie I haven't even seen, Sam Rockwell for Vice.
Yes, boy.
I took a punt and predicted him, and I'm so glad he's back in the picture.
Do you imagine if he wins it twice in a row?
Dude, just the idea of him playing George Bush again is fucking... again, just him playing George Bush once for the first time.
I was like, again.
Shut up. You got in my head with saying the double win. Yeah, he's awesome in that. Richard E. Grant, Can You Forgive Me, who may well win the thing, which I am 100% behind. He's fucking amazing. Timothy Chalamet, Beautiful Boy. Mahershala Ali, Green Book. And Adam Driver for Black Klansman, which has really been surprising me.
I have to say, I'm all in for Adam Driver and Black Klansman. I think.
Yeah, no, I'm on board as well, but I would not have expected it in a million years.
And I just want to drop the fact that I think Black Panther's most worthy nomination would be in supporting actor.
Honestly,
the one I didn't get.
I think
Michael B. Jordan is so good.
It didn't get any other major nominations. It only got score and song and picture. It's like Selma that year, where it only got picture and song and actor, I think.
Yeah, I guess they must have just really... I think it's probably because all these guys skip MCU films, all these snobs, but they actually heard that this one's good and they watched it and they're like,
yeah,
right.
All right, let's get on board.
These are fun.
I mean, they're all good, but...
yeah, I know, exactly.
Real quick, best director, Bradley Cooper, Star is Born. Alfonso Cuarón, who's going to win the Oscar for Roma. Peter Farrelly for Green Book, which is very cool. Awesome. The famed director of movie 43.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, it's so good.
Spike Lee for Black Klansman and Adam McKay for Vice.
Fuck. Oh, that gets me so pumped.
Oh,
Adam McKay.
Let's do it.
I hope he gets another Oscar nomination. I'm going to be so happy.
Freaking, that Vice was probably the big winner of the night. It got the most nominations with 6.
Fuck yeah.
Is there anything else that you wanted to point out that you were happy with, or?
Yeah, I just want to say congrats again to Adam McKay for screenplay and director. And
I've also got something to add.
Famed director of Step Brothers, and Anchorman and Anchorman 2, and it makes me so happy, man.
I've got something to add.
Yeah, go on.
I would just also like to congratulate Adam McKay on his nomination for Best Director. I think it's really great.
Honestly.
Super excited for Vice.
I think people kind of pegged him after the other guys and Step Brothers and all that as like that good comedy director or that comedy director. And now that he's made 2 fantastic, like just regular Oscar films in a row, people are going to go back with a new set of glasses and rewatch his old comedies and probably rethink them, I think. And that makes me very happy.
He's a genius before his time. Real quick, I'm really, really excited that Isle of Dogs is getting nominations for Best Score. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And
Des Platt is the man. I don't really... Anything from the TV side strike you? I don't watch enough TV to notice.
I didn't really look at any of them, but I know that Better Call Saul got completely shafted, which I'm not happy with.
Yeah, that's a shame. I'm just looking through them now.
And I just want to congratulate Adam McKay on his 2 nominations, and besides that,
yep. So definitely big congratulations to Adam McKay. That'll do it for the Golden Globe Awards. Also, I don't know how Vice did at the Critics' Choice nominations, but if Adam McKay got nominated, I would just like to congratulate him once more.
Hey, he deserves it, man.
And the big winner there was The Favourite with 14 nominations.
Oh, that's a tie for the most ever, eh?
At Critics' Choice, maybe, I'm not sure. I mean, they're a bit weird. They had like 7 in each lead actor category and stuff. Like, they're a bit weird, but yeah. I'm just glad they nominated Gosling. This is going to be a long fucking podcast. Let's
jump.
Let's keep moving. Avengers Endgame trailer. Now, I just rambled on about awards. This is Jaren's territory. Where are we gonna start?
I think we start with how the trailer starts. So it opens up. So the last time we saw Tony Stark, obviously, was on Titan. This is all going to be spoilers for Avengers 3, but who hasn't seen Avengers 3? I'm just so excited to talk about this. I'm so excited to hear. First of all, big reveal. The title is Avengers Endgame, even though they said no one had guessed the title and it wasn't said. Guess who just fucking
They've done
lied
a
to you,
J.J.
and I love
Abrams. And I appreciate it.
Yeah, honestly. And it was said in Age of Ultron, it was said in Infinity War. This is awesome. Tony Stark is on a ship. And I love how they were like, Avengers ended really dour and sad and all your heroes are in trouble, so we could lift your spirits or we can kick you in the nuts while you're down. Tony Stark's about to die from starvation, and then Captain America's lost his beard and he's crying, and then Hawkeye is killing the Yakuza and he has that look of despair because he's probably lost his whole fucking family, and man, this is a kick to the nuts, and I loved it.
No.
Yeah, honestly. And then they give you the bloody Avengers title, and it fades away, and they don't hold back, man. They love being in pain. They love us being in pain. And I really liked it. We got confirmation that I believe Shuri either got dusted off screen when they said she was alive, so they could have lied and she's actually dead, or it says missing, same as Scott Lang, so maybe she ran away to be the next Panther, or I don't know. But that's really cool. I'm really excited to see how all these pieces fit together. If you notice, Black Widow, I'm just jumping around everywhere, but Black Widow in that Hawkeye scene, which is probably the most exciting scene for me in the trailer. I'm so glad he's back. She has a different haircut and she looks older, which could lend hand to the theory that a lot of this takes place a few years in advance. First heard here on the Children of Film podcast.
We came up with that.
Yeah, that was us.
I've been talking because my audio feed was glitching and you were talking in fast motion there, so I'm just like, Jaren.
No, that wasn't a glitch. Yeah. And then at the very end, our boy Ant-Man comes along to save the Dower of Despair, and he's probably lost his daughter and all his friends, but he's just like, hey guys, yeah, yo, it's Ant-Man. You remember me? I got big. And dude, everyone's been like, oh, how'd he get out of the quantum realm? How'd he get out? First of all, he already got out of it once in Ant-Man. He just went big. And also, I would just love it so much if Michael Pena pulled him out, man. That would just be... can you imagine that if Michael Pena is the one to pull him out?
If Luis got dusted, I'm done with the Russo brothers, to be honest.
Oh, if Luis gets dusted, I'm
never watching an MCU film again.
Hey, no, if Luis pulls him out, though, that would be insane. Yeah. And he retells what if he retells the dusting to Scott in his kind of...
I love how everyone's been reaching out to NASA to try and save Tony Stark and send him food.
NASA tweeted. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's like The Martian, how they need the Rich Purnell method of slingshotting a ship around to send him a supply run of food and stuff.
Yes, it's amazing.
They need to make a movie.
And they're like, until we get an official distress call, we're not legally allowed to launch an investigation into Tony Stark. That's
Someone
awesome.
needs to fly it into space and then send NASA a distress call on the behalf of Tony Stark.
Fuck yes, honestly. All right, let's talk about this rationally quick instead of my nonsense. What was your...
Is there a way to do that? All right, go on.
What was your most... what bit of the trailer made you most excited?
All right, I've only watched it twice, so I might not be entirely clued in here, but what got me really excited... the biggest fuck yeah moment for me was probably Hawkeye as Ronan.
Actual same.
Fucking sick. Just the look on his face, like he means business. Shit's about to go down.
How good does he... Yeah, he's so good, man. Them eyes.
And I
Thousand
really
eyes.
was just kind of wowed by the first 30 seconds of the trailer. I thought it was pretty freaking emotional. And, you know,
It was,
the part of every journey is the end. And that shot, that long shot from space was really brilliant. And I also loved Cap's line where he's like, it's going to work because I don't know what I'm going to do if it doesn't.
Yes. So good.
Yeah, that's
It's
really
gonna work,
setting up
Steve.
some stakes. Is there anything I missed that blew you away?
Honestly, I think you covered the best bits. We don't get any of what society looks like after
We
the
live in a
dusting.
society. That's good. I'm
We
glad.
do.
I'm glad they didn't give us anything.
I'll say the gladiator shot with Thanos' hand and the gauntlet, which is still fucked, was awesome. Which is like every swords and sand.
Thanos Scarecrow.
Hey, the Scarecrow was sick. Thanos T-pose. Yeah, and the fucking the hand read was awesome. And yeah, probably for me, which is weird. You wouldn't be saying this in 2012, but seeing Hawkeye is just like, fuck, finally. Man, Age of Ultron and Civil War did wonders.
Yeah,
for his
he was
character.
fantastic in
People
them,
love
and
him
I did
now.
miss him. Dude,
He's a
I remember the
big fan
first time
favorite.
watching Infinity War, every single time like a character was about to show up or something, me and my friend
Hey.
would just be like, Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, hey,
Even the
when
end credits
music's
scene
rolled
when
up,
he's
dun,
pager and we're
dun.
like, is he calling Hawkeye?
Hey, it lands as just an arrow. Yeah. Oh yes. I've seen like people love him, man. Like I saw a meme in Shield posting a group on Facebook where it's like, Hawkeye like turns around as that shot, and then it's like Thanos as Ralph on the school bus, and Thanos is like chuckles, "I'm in danger," just because of Hawkeye. Like it's
Yeah.
ridiculous, but it's. So
I mean, he'll
sick.
probably
And,
show up and like help a bit, and then someone else will do the main work. But still, I'm
he's not
excited to
gonna
see
be in
my
it that
boy back.
much.
And it's
Jeremy
gonna
Renner's
be
so good.
emotionally charged if what
Fuck yeah.
we think is gonna happen is gonna happen.
But it must have, because I think if even one member of his family was alive, man, his wife or one daughter,
He'd be
out of
just
his
be
two
chilling
daughters,
with them.
he would be back. He wouldn't have left them.
Yeah,
So, and that is really hard to think. And something that makes me even sadder is that if Ant-Man went straight from where he is and got out and realized what's happening and went straight to the Avengers, what if he hasn't checked up on his daughter? Because that would be rough.
you can't, dude. There are so many variables here. I don't know how they're gonna fit it all in. Apparently, the initial cut of the
Honestly.
movie's 3 hours. They better fucking keep it.
No, the initial cut was 4 and it's been cut to 3.
Come on, Disney,
which
don't
is
be
stuff-
cowards.
God.
It's only like
Release it
20
as
minutes
4.
longer than Infinity War.
I know, honestly. Dude, and if it was 3 hours, this same amount of people would see it, man. No one would shy away from that.
Honestly, most people probably don't even look at the run times.
And dude, apparently this movie is Thanos heavy, and we saw nothing of him.
Jesus.
Yeah, right? Which
Right
is
on.
sick.
Should we move on?
Yeah.
Any other final thoughts? I really liked the trailer. I didn't think it gave away too much, and it got me excited.
I think, yeah, man, it's a perfect teaser. Nothing of the plot was given away. Literally nothing of the plot. You couldn't say what it's about. And I think that's great. And we'll be getting another trailer in like 2 months, but this has held me off, man. I'm good now. I can just rewatch this. And the poster, I gotta say, the poster is fucking
But
awesome.
I'm
It's
very
one of the better
excited
ones.
for that new Spider-Man trailer for one reason.
Oh,
And its
My
name
boy!
is Jake Gyllenhaal.
oh, my boy is in a Spider-Man movie. It's a
Jake
reality.
Gyllenhaal is in the MCU, and cinema is alive and well.
Oh yeah, boy, this is true Kino. Jake Gyllenhaal in the MCU.
Bubble Boy 2.
Oh, fuck yes, thank God. All right, let's move on. We're going to talk about another Marvel
Spider-Man.
movie. Yep.
Another
And
Spider-Man
Spider-Verse.
thing.
Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
People thought that this was going to be like a joke, like one of those straight-to-home DC ones that they do, but it's so much more than that. Take it away.
oh yeah, this is an animated blockbuster, man, and I think it actually officially comes out tomorrow, so as of recording, so I think we've timed this podcast well. I've already seen it twice because I've been doing a bunch of early screenings. Alright, so this is about Miles Morales, who is a young man. What is he, like 16, 17? Roundabout?
He's in high school, but he's not like grade 12. I think he's probably 15.
Yeah, and he's just chilling. He likes to make graffiti, hang out with his uncle, and there's a Spider-Man in this world, Peter Parker. I don't know how much to give away without spoiling, but there's a Spider-Man,
Yeah.
and Miles
Not the
gets
actor,
bitten by a spider at some point while making graffiti, and then realizes that he has spider powers, and then There's something to do with interdimensional portals, and a bunch of different Spider-Mans get sent into the current dimension, and Miles has to work with them to put things right. Think I got around that okay?
Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah, so the real draw card of this is there's two things that I really freaking love. The animation style, it's like a comic book come to life. It's fucking complete with like bubbles every now and then, sometimes translating a character's dialogue or showing someone's inner thoughts.
Yeah, think bubbles were good.
And the second thing is all the Spider-Mans we get to see.
Oh, they're all so good. None of the Spider-Mans were a drag or like a yawn or a like even that Asian one that drives the spider.
The anime girl.
Like that. Yeah.
She was good.
No, I really liked it. And this is, even though there's all these Spider-Man, this is a Miles Morales charged story. And so the thing I loved about this is that it wasn't a let's make an animated Spider-Man movie, because I think that the journey and this story and everything that happens absolutely lends itself to the animation, because you couldn't do this in live action. It's too insane.
Yeah, it's too wacky.
The spectacles.
It's just a kaleidoscope of colors at times.
Oh, it would be the most expensive movie ever made, and you just couldn't. It would all be green screen, and you
eat shit, James Cameron.
Honestly, fuck you, James Cameron. Go fucking drive a submarine. This is, it's a fantastic superhero story through the medium of animation. And people might write this off, but you really shouldn't. The medium doesn't hinder this film's ability to make a compelling story for all ages at all.
It enhances it.
It really does. Like it's as good, if not better, than most of, if not all, the live action.
And it's got a great
Spider-Man
message
films.
about how any one of us could wear the mask. There's a hero in all of us.
It's like the V for Vendetta ending.
Yeah. Fuck, I love V for Vendetta.
Oh, it's so good.
Can't believe I forgot to watch it this November.
Oh, me too. But shit. Actually, I just realized. Let's talk about the Spider-Man real quick. I'm not going to go into detail about all of them because there are some surprises there, but the ones that have been marketed, first of all, Nicolas Cage plays neo-noir Spider-Man.
Probably
which
a
is Spider-Man straight. Oh, not probably. He is a scene stealer. He's straight out of a dimension where everything is in black and white,
and it's 1933.
Yeah, 30s, yeah. And so he's all black and white, and he's perplexed by the colors. And then you have Spider-Ham, which is not Spider-Pig, which a lot of people confuse it as. It's an actual...
He's like a Looney Tune.
And he comes from a dimension where animals talk, and it basically is Looney Tune. Like, he has a giant hammer that fits in his pocket, and he has pockets. He's a pig. And it's played by John Mulaney, who
his
his very first film role. He's from things like Big Mouth, Oh Hello Show, a lot
amazing
of stuff like
stand-up comedian.
Yeah, so good. Could host the Oscars.
All Spider-Man's good. Spider-Gwen is very good. Big Haley Steinfeld. All the voice acting is awesome.
All the villains are really good too.
There's so many villains, and it's not like Amazing Spider-Man 2 where it's shit. They actually figured out how to get it right.
And most of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 ones are in this, and they're right, so yeah.
And yeah, there's some surprise villains. There's some surprise heroes. There's some surprise voice actors. The end credit scene is an absolute joy.
Oh, it's amazing. Man.
It has that very sort of, I know it's not like directed by them or anything, but it's got that Phil Lord and Chris Miller kind of self-awareness to it.
Oh, it is, dude. This was handheld by them, I've heard. Because when Chris Pratt did his shout-out message to this movie saying it was so good, he said he was involved in some of the ins and outs in production, and he wanted to give a big thanks to the director and to Phil Lord and Chris Miller because they all shepherded this through, like, big hands in it, big hands.
Legends.
And you can tell. This has got Lego Movie written all over it, but for Spider-Man.
Yeah, it definitely feels similar, and I think it is, it's one of my favorite animated films of the year, second only to Isle of Dogs. It is awesome, and I wasn't as entertained on the rewatch, but I don't really have any problems with it. It's just really damn good.
I only have one, and that's that I think the final battle was a little bit too crazy for me. It's a bit too lights and colors. Things get lost. You'll know what you say. I can't really spoil it, but you'll know what it is.
Also,
it's just flying, and it gets... I know
it's comic accurate, but fuck, Fisk looks goofy.
Oh man, he looks... It's not comic accurate
at
all.
Isn't he just a big hulking man as well in the comics?
Yeah, but his head isn't in between his boobs. And also, it's not comic accurate because in the comic books, they got a great voice actor for it, but no, in the comic books, man, he's a man. He can't jump 50 feet and fly and shit. That involves the final fight and things are happening, and it was a bit too much for me, which
You're
is
not wrong. He's a
unfortunate
fucking
because
hunchback.
I really loved the fights like involved in like one takes place in Aunt May's house, and it's crazy.
Aunt
and that
May
one
is
was really
great
good,
in this
and
too, by the way.
yeah, so good. And yeah, really liked it.
Yeah.
Alright.
I don't think we'll bother with spoiler talk because it's not out yet. But it's really awesome, this movie.
Oh yeah, it's sick. All right, let's bounce
I'm
on.
gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10.
I give it a 4 out of 5.
Oh. See, I
was
would
close?
give it a 4.5, but it's like a lowish 4.5, so I went 8.5. Yeah. So that's
Cheers to
that one complete. God, I feel a bit rusty today, but I'm having a good time nonetheless.
Oh yeah.
We're introducing a new category now. Because of some stupid fucking
Segment.
joke Jaron made to me before the podcast, and then we're like, you know what? That's on
yeah.
brand.
Fuck yeah, new segment. Let's do it.
Okay, so this is FMK, Fuck, Marry, Kill. With films, don't worry, we're not being pigs or anything. We're talking about actual films.
No.
And the idea is you fuck one film, which is you can watch it once more for the rest of your life. And you marry one film, which is you can watch it as much as you want for the rest of your life. So that's sort of your winning option. And then Kill, which is you can never watch it again. So there's a lot of angles you can take with this one. We've prepared 2 different ones each for each other.
Yep.
I mean, if it may go wrong if we've all picked the same freaking films, but our category is animated films in honor of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So yeah, this is going to be a quick one, but just a bit of fun. Jaron, did you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. I'll go, then you go. We're doing 2 each. So yeah, you basically laid the rules out. All right, Jacob. All right, here we go. Fuck, marry, kill. This is. I'm gonna go with a straightforward angle, then go goofier later. Fuck, marry, kill. Team America, World Police, South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut, Sausage Party.
Dude, I had that exact fucking one.
Real shit.
All right, I guess let's both answer it, but yeah. I went the exact same angle for one of mine.
Nice.
So, all right, I am going to. Let me just think about this for a second. All right, I'm killing Sausage Party. I'm sorry, I really like it, but I'm killing Sausage Party. I am going to. I'm going to marry Team America World Police and fuck South Park Bigger, Longer, Uncut. South Park, that movie I watched probably over 20 times as a kid. I love it. But I haven't seen it in a very long time, and I haven't really watched South Park in ages, so it's not really a part of my life. So I think Team America is a movie that I would still rewatch today and probably rewatch a lot of times because I think it holds up a lot more. Not that there's anything wrong with South Park. I think it's amazing, but I think I could handle watching that one more time and then never again. So I'm gonna. That's my angle. Where would you have gone with that?
I'd go. I would kill Team America World Police. I don't love it as much as you. I think it's very dated. Considering it's newer than South Park Big Longer Uncut.
Right on.
I think a lot of the acting references are kind of dated. Although you can't take this because these are all top tier films, man. I love Team America World Police, but I would fuck South Park because I love South Park so much, but I've got 21 seasons of it. I've got 21 seasons of South Park, man.
Yeah,
and I've seen that
is
movie
very
50
true.
times. And especially the earlier seasons, they're all really good, probably better than the movie, and I love the movie. And then I'd probably I'd marry Sausage Party, just because
You'd
it's
put
the
that
frat
over
pack.
the other ones.
Yeah, I love the frat pack, man, and it's only 90 minutes, it's a breeze, and a hot dog has sex with a donut. So
I mean, that's really I can't argue with that.
yeah, and also food behead a man. So right.
Don't know.
You can't go
I've
past
got 2
it,
other options I could go with to give you. Well, actually, I need to give you 2 options anyway because
Yeah.
you gave me that one. So I'm going to start with got B movie, Minions, and Cars 2.
And I have to marry and fuck one of these.
Yep.
Shit. All right. Straight up, not gonna lie. I'm gonna fucking kill Minions because I'm never watching that shit. I'm never touching
Having
it
seen
with a
it, not a
10-foot
bad
pole.
call.
And I like Despicable Me 1 and 2, and even that's too much for me in the Minion side of things. I can go on Facebook and look on like 40-year-old parents' pages if I want Minion related content. I'm going to I'm gonna fuck Cars 2, so I only have to watch it once and can get the stench of Pixar out of me because it's their only bad film. And I'll marry the B movie because it's such a meme, man, and it's ironically really funny. It's no good. It's by no means a good movie. It's terrible, but it's ironically funny. And it's the last one left, really. It's just process of elimination.
Having seen all three, I would have gone the same way, I reckon.
Yeah, you got to. All right.
What is your next one?
I'm going to go a more straightforward one for you right now. I am going to go... So I'm not going to pick something like Spirited Away because I know that's your favourite one, so that's an instant...
Yeah, you got to go a bit more for grey area.
I'm going to go a little bit out of the box here, and I'm going to go... the Iron Giant versus Kubo and the Two Strings versus How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Oh, you motherfucking piece of shit. All right.
Top tier films. Top tier.
All right, I'm killing Kubo on the Two Strings. I fucking love it, but it doesn't compete with the other two. All right, here's where it gets tricky. Now, I think that The Iron Giant is a better movie, but I'm going to fuck it.
Really? All right.
This is because How to Train Your Dragon 2, also one of the greatest animated films of all time, is the part of a trilogy, and I want to be able to watch the entire trilogy over and over.
That's fair. Very
Iron Giant is an incredible film. It's more dramatic, and I think it's one that I can maybe watch a few years down the track and have the impact and just let it be a beautiful memory. I don't want to break up the trilogy. That's where I'm going to go. Marrying How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Shit. I'm not even going to try and answer it, so let's just go.
That's a good call. And my last one for you now, I don't know exactly where you stand, so this is either going to be easy or difficult, but it's Toy Story 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, no. You just talked about not having a trilogy to be able to watch, man, and you have to do this to me?
I do,
You've done me the dirty here, mate.
I don't make the rules.
Oh, shit. You don't take the shits, you just disturb them. I get it. Alright, it's easier than I think, but it just hurts me to say because I love all of these infinitely. I'm going to have to kill Toy Story because it's the one that brought them all together, man. It's so good, but the animation is more dated than the other two, and it's shorter, so I get less time with these characters that I love. God, fuck you. I'm gonna have to... shit. I'm gonna have to fuck Toy Story 3 because that ending about leaving your toys behind and growing up and them holding hands, it's too much for me, and I only want to go through that kind of pain one more time.
And I guess we got a fourth one coming, so you've got kind of the middle and the end.
And Toy Story 2, I have to marry. It's my favorite. It also has a gut fucking punching, heart ripping moment in Jesse's backstory set to that fucking song that makes me literally, if I watched it on YouTube right now, I'd start crying. I can't. But I think it's the most beautiful. I think, and it's the strongest themes of friendship. And just the journey that they go on to find Buzz and how they don't give up on... Oh, fine. They don't give up on him, man. They don't... Even when he turns his back, he's been manipulated. Even when he realizes he's got... Oh... Nah. Let's move on.
Yep. Let us know in the comments, one of the 2 or 3 comments we usually get. If this is fun, if we should keep doing it.
Let us know what you do too. I'm actually interested.
I actually kind of it's kind of fun. Makes you think of it.
Exactly.
So now we're gonna close it off with one of our a segment that we usually end it with, and it is a top 5. And this week we are doing top 5 sports movies in honor of Creed 2 being released over the last couple of weeks. And there's actually a lot of good shit here. There's actually a pretty tough list to make.
Yeah, no shit. It was harder than I thought.
Would you like me to kick it off?
Yeah, go on. Honorable mentions under 5.
All right, honorable mentions. I'm gonna rattle off a few and then maybe talk about a couple others in depth. But I got Invictus, honorable mention. The Fighter, Moneyball. Dude, it's hard to not have these on the list. It's actually fucking tight. Rocky, the first Rocky. Love The Wrestler, and The Color of Money, which is freaking awesome. And a very harsh omission. This was a coin flip between 5 and 6, and this movie just lost the coin flip. My last honorable mention is Rush.
I was there. Oh, what?
It lost the coin flip, Jaron. I'm sorry. It's pretty much might as well be tied number 5.
Go on, tell me number 5. Go on. What did it lose to?
No, number 5, I'll go on to, but just Rush briefly. It's fucking amazing. The first time I watched it in theaters, I got the time wrong and missed the first 10 minutes, and then we watched it online later at home, and the rest was history. I love this freaking movie. Daniel Bruhl should have been nominated for every award. Chris Hemsworth is also fucking incredible, and just great script, really emotional.
Daniel Bruhl should have won in 2013, in my opinion.
Sorry?
Daniel Bruhl should have won in 2013, in my opinion.
I agree.
But, alright.
100%. And the other one that won the coin flip, my number 5 favorite sports movie is Creed. So are you okay with that?
I can't say I abide, no.
Well, let me tell you, they're on par. It's a coin flip. But Creed, freaking love. Watched it again pretty recently, and it's still electrifying, man. Like, just inspiring shit. Such good filmmaking. Michael B. Jordan is amazing. That final battle, like, you're a Creed, and I love you, kid. Like, just real shit, man.
Yeah, I gotta prove it. Gotta prove what? That I'm not a mistake. Ooh, that hits.
With his fucking eye blown up.
Mangled,
too big eye. All right, Jaron, what are your honorable mentions in number 5?
A lot of the same as yours. I got The Wrestler, which I really love. Rocky, I really love. Creed is great. One I watched all the time as a kid. I rewatched it, and it fucking holds up. Real steel. I'm a big boxing fan.
Oh, I just bought another Blu-ray of that, so I'm going to watch it probably
it's
early
so
next
charming,
year.
And it's so
dude, I watched like 30 minutes of it, and then the disc fucking was scratched and died.
Shit. And the fight scenes are so good. They're crazy good. The shadow boxing scene is amazing, and the father-son dynamic, so good. Quick honorable mention. These weren't close to making my top 5, but I got to give a shout out to Happy Gilmore on Dodgeball. The two best, in my opinion, sport comedies.
Also, let me throw up the documentary Senna. Senna, really great.
Yep. Right. I'll go on to my number 5. And this is Warrior.
Ooh, nice.
Are we punting, or am I talking about this now?
We can punt.
All right. A punt is if the other person has it higher, we'll talk about it.
Stealing
when
it from the top 10 show, but yeah.
It's a very common expression.
Yeah.
I did take it
so
from
yeah,
that show.
Warriors your number 5. All right, my number 4 is $1 Million Baby.
That's my number 3, so we might as well talk about it now.
Narrowly edging out Creed as my favorite boxing movie. It is really... I haven't seen it in years, and so I can't say I remember all the plot details, but I remember the fucking impact it had on me. And Clint Eastwood is... What'd you say? Yeah. Nah, Clint Eastwood is fucking amazing. Hilary Swank is amazing. It's brutal.
Jay Baruchel
like
is amazing.
That great sort of mid-2000s drama, man. Like, just really great storytelling.
Dude, character actress Margot Martindale is so good in it. Character actress Margot Martindale is so good in it.
Esteemed character actress Margot Martindale.
Yeah, man. She plays Hilary Swank's mum. She is insanely good.
Yeah. Nah, so even talking about this, I want to watch it again now. But yeah, $1 Million Baby is my number 4.
I'll go for my number 3, and I'll talk about it more when I get to it. My number 4, is Moneyball, which we can talk about now. Cause
I'm on board with Moneyball, man. It's honorable mention, but I fucking love it.
written by the great Aaron Sorkin, Oscar-nominated screenplay, led by Brad Pitt, directed by the man Bennett Miller, who went to make another great sports movie, Foxcatcher, which would be an honorable mention for me too. But Moneyball is so fucking good. It's the true story of the Oakland Athletics and Billy Beane, who's their manager, played by Brad Pitt, and how basically they took the smallest budget in the whole league and attempted to use data analysis to make a team. Jonah Hill plays the data analysis, his first Oscar nomination, really proved he could act. Chris Pratt plays Scott Hatterberg, I want to say.
A baseball man.
Scott Hatterberg, I'm pretty sure. Robin Wright plays his wife. It's a stacked cast, and it's so good. Like, it's basically summed up the best in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the statistical analysis. It's beautiful. But it actually, dude, the thing is, this movie makes statistical analysis so exciting.
Yeah.
Like when Jonah Hill's on the phone and he's bargaining money, so that corresponds with runs to balls, to second base hitters, and like changing money up and down. And he's like, yes, nailed it. Like it's really exciting. And on the bottom of it is a story about a man trying to connect with his daughter and to deal with what happened to him as a kid and how he couldn't play baseball anymore due to his injury. He takes it out on this sport, takes it out on his family, and it's really sad. He can't watch the game because he thinks he's going to jinx it. Like the Oakland A's first loss in 22 games is the first one he shows up at, and it's a real character piece through this team and what he managed to do to it. He's a genius in
And
real
it announced
life.
Jonah Hill, dramatic actor.
Hey,
to the
dear
world.
God, it's me, Jonah Hill.
From Moneyball.
From Moneyball. Two-time Oscar nominee, soon to be Adam McKay as well. And yeah, I love Moneyball.
All right. My number 3 is this anywhere near your list? It is I, Tonya.
No,
not even an honorable mention.
I would say it's an honorable mention.
Yeah.
It would click that.
Frickin', I mean, it almost got nominated for Best Picture at our awards. The only reason it didn't, like, it made it in on votes. I just made Jaron put Call Me By Your Name in because it was my number 2.
Yeah, got cut out, yeah.
It could happen again this year because he's not huge on my number 2 currently. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I, Tonya, I loved. If you know me, I love that film. I think it's fucking electrifying. It made me interested in figure skating for 2 hours, which is not an easy feat. Margot Robbie's incredible. It's like it's a Wolf of Wall Street ripoff stylistically, and I am very much okay with that. Again, I've talked about this movie ad nauseum. I fucking love it, and it's one that I've been trying to show to many people. I've seen it like 5 times already, and I'm not done. And your number 3 is MDB.
Yeah, I just want to say I really love I, Tonya as well. The only reason it didn't make it for me is that I think it leans a bit too much. I mean, of course it has to, but when I watched it, it's like the second time watching it, I kind of got bored because I'd seen it 6 times, once and 5 times as the Wolf of Wall Street and once as I, Tonya. It's just kind of the same thing, but with a woman and sport instead of money. But it's really good. $1 Million Baby is my number 3. This comes close to being my favorite boxing movie as well. I fucking love it. The first time I watched this, it made me cry like a baby, and I say that a lot on this podcast because I talk about my favorite movies, but that does not happen a lot. And yeah, Frankie Dunn, he's a man. Clint Eastwood wrote, direct, starred, Oscar nomination for all 3 of them. He is he's a man who doesn't want to move on from the past. He has really right-wing leaning ideologies, which is a big Clint Eastwood character thing, apparently, in a lot of his movies. And he doesn't want to take her on because she's a girl, but she shows true heart, strength, determination, and he takes her on. You know, she enters his life and she changes him for the best. I'm just now seeing how similar this is to Gran Torino, but she enters his life and changes him for the best, and her determination to be professional for her family, to prove her worth and her convenience, and you know, how she convinces him to help her and how he really starts getting by her side, and how she's also shunned by the rest of the people he hangs out with because they haven't changed like he has. The whole cast is amazing. The fight sequences are amazing. And the last 20 minutes where Hilary Swank's character ends up, where Clint Eastwood's character ends up, where Morgan Freeman's character ends up. Jay Baruchel is strikingly good in this, like really sad.
I
like
forgot
really
he
funny
was
and
in that.
really,
Holy
really
shit,
sad.
yeah.
He's so good, but also so sad. And where everyone ends up, it's honestly heartbreaking more than it is fun. It's not a fun movie to watch, but it's so exciting. It really makes you root for her. And then, no spoilers, but it's a big fucking kick to the nutsack.
Big. I really want to watch that again now.
Oh, man. Me too.
Morning.
Hey, and I've seen it like 3 times. I really, really want to watch it. All right. Your number 2.
My number 2 is not a film that you're going to see on a ton of people's lists, but it is a true fucking underdog story. It is the tale of a man named Doug Glatt, the polite, kind-hearted bouncer in Massachusetts who, he doesn't have a lot going for him in life, but he's a great guy. He's got some good friends, and he has a knack for taking a hit and hitting. And this leads him to play hockey for the Halifax
say it's called
Highlanders.
Goon, by the way. Goon, by the way.
Is it? I don't know. It's just, I think it's too real for me, It's just, it's real life.
Yeah.
And, he has a rocky relationship with his skilled teammate, Xavier Laflamme, but, they end up, working together as a team, and it's inspirational. Goon, I fucking love this movie so goddamn much. It's not just one of my favorite sports movies. It's one of my favorite comedies, period. I've watched it so many times. Honestly, I'm at a point where it gets me emotional when I watch it at the end. Yeah, it's just about a dude punching people, but he's such a wonderful character, and there's some great stuff with his relationship with Alison Pill's character. And I don't know, man. They find beauty in fucking shit fights on hockey grounds, and Sean William Scott is great, and I fucking love Goon. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it.
I will retract my statement about Happy Gilmore and Dodgeball being the best, because I would add Goon to that list. I've only seen it once on your recommendation a couple of years ago, but I also think it's fucking really, really good. The only thing is, the last thing I saw was Goon 2, Last of the Enforcers.
Oh, that's not good, no.
And it's not good, and it's kind of left this... And it actually kind of retconned some of the wholesomeness of his character and kind of soured me on it a bit. But I got to watch Goon 1 again.
Yeah, give it another watch. It really definitely is one that sort of I like more every time.
It's like You're Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah, it's kind of like a chef for me. Just one that makes me feel happy.
Yeah. All right. My number 2. My number 2 is my favorite boxing movie. Big fan of that. And
also, Jay Baruchel showing up a lot here.
Yeah, exactly. My number 2 also No, it doesn't. It's David O. Russell's The Fighter.
Nice.
It's the truth, again, a true story about Mickey Ward and Dickie Eklund, boxing brothers. One, Christian Bale won an Oscar for playing Dickie Eklund. 2 Oscar winners in this, Melissa Leo and Christian Bale. And Christian Bale plays Dickie, a real life guy who is just kind of stuck in a rut because he peaked really early by accidentally beating the world heavyweight champ. And he retired after that to go into drugs and alcohol, which is a big thing. And his brother, Mickey Ward, who always got shafted by his parents because Dickie was always the one earning the accolades, he built himself up to become like one of the new champions, and his whole family have to kind of change their perspective and be like, oh, this is also our kid. And there's a really powerful scene where Melissa Leo is fucking brilliant. She basically just plays Beatrice Horseman from BoJack Horseman, she voices. Basically, in this scene, he's like, oh, I'm moving out. I'm moving out with Amy Adams, who is so hot in this movie. She wears lingerie, and you can see right
so
through.
Hot in every movie, Jaron, except probably Vice, because she's in old person makeup.
Still probably.
How about Enchanted, bro?
Oh yeah,
such a good movie.
Yeah, man. Discount Fisher is really, really good in that movie.
Shut your whore mouth.
anyway, fuck,
I love both. I love both
2 minutes. Shut up. Mark Wahlberg is like, he's like, oh, I'm moving out with her. She's changed me and stuff. And he's like, oh, but Mickey, you're my son. And he's like, am I, Mum? Am I? Because and he lays out a list, and it's really quite daunting. And Sugar Ray Leonard is in it as himself because he got knocked out by Dickie Eklund in real life. And the scenes, there's a lot of one-shot scenes, and then it delves a lot. It gives boxing a sidestep and delves a lot into Christian Bale's story, who's a supporting actor, and his addiction with drug abuse, and how he actually halfway through they drop that he has a fucking kid. And it's basically a representation of how he forgot he had a kid and it's dropped on him, and he has to go to prison at one point and he's dealing with withdrawals, and it's really hard to watch and it's really emotionally charged. And the last fight, it's so sad. And this is Mark Wahlberg's. This and The Departed are his best performances
Definitely.
for me. He's no edge of comedy at all in this. He's full straight edge. He doesn't get the recognition he deserves because Christian Bale and Melissa Leo are so showy. I mean, they're fucking amazing, but they're so showy. Their performances require it. And it's my favorite David O. Russell film, my favorite boxing film. It's in my top 40 or 30 of all time. I love this movie to bits. I think it's fucking brilliant. And that is The Fighter.
Yeah, I suppose you'd know what my number one is by now.
And
We
mine.
bookended it with your number 5. It is Warrior. This is an all-timer for me. It doesn't really deviate that much from your standard boxing fighting movie story, but it's
Except
just
it's not boxing.
executed to perfection, and it is the ultimate man cry movie for me. Jaron and I were talking earlier how it didn't really hit him until like his 5th time watching it.
Yeah, man. I always thought it was really good. I'm like, yeah, this is a good film. And then I watched it for the 5th time in 3 years, like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, holy shit. Yeah.
I just think it's a great 3-pronged character study. You got Nick Nolte as the father of these two guys who, he's obviously fucked up a lot of stuff in his life, but he's trying to make amends. Also, I think he chewed on like 10 tons of gravel before like preparing for this role. Or is that just Nick Nolte in general?
No, he's fat Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, so Joel Edgerton and Tom Hardy are two brothers, and they're both very, very good fighters. Hardy is like a war veteran, and Joel Edgerton is a bloody school teacher. Yeah, he's a school teacher, and they both have their reasons for entering this. It's an 8-man fighting tournament. It's like mixed martial arts, and they both have their reasons for entering it, and there's some bad blood between them. They're going to end up fighting each other. And I love the contrast between their fighting styles. Edgerton just sort of gets in there. Freaking, he's scrappy. He fights the whole match. He barely gets his wins. And Tom Hardy just comes in.
One punch,
Tommy Conlon just comes in and knocks everyone out in like 10 seconds. No entry music, just comes out.
Yeah, what I love is that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and he leaves as well before, like, they've even, without putting his hand up, hey? Yeah, it's great. I also think that's a good representation of how their characters come to be in the tournament. Tom Hardy is...
he's got a lot to hide.
He's a natural. He's an absolute natural. He obviously trained a lot, but he was always the best. He had never lost once, and they're like, "Nope, you're in. You're fucking awesome. You knocked out one of the world bests. You're in." And bloody Tommy really had to. I mean, not Tommy. Joel Edgerton really had to scrap to get in, and no one gave him a chance. And he worked his ass off because he's not naturally a fucking brilliant fighter. He barely wins cage matches at pubs.
I want to go watch Warrior now, but it's 140 minutes. I don't know, but I won't spoil the ending, but it is like it fucking kills me every time, man. I love you, Tommy. Fucking
Just spoiled it.
Yeah, real shit, and just fucking one of Tom Hardy's best performances. Joel Edgerton is amazing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm running out of shit to say, but yeah, there's a reveal with Hardy's character like halfway through that really changes the game, and fucking says a lot about him and who he is and why he's doing this. Yeah, really freaking good.
I'm sure you know what my number one is. It's like my top 5 movies of all time. And this is a movie that changed my perspective. Yes, the Trey Parker. It's the movie that changed my perspective on a whole sport I don't give a fucking shred of a shit about, and this is racing, and this is Rush. Right now it's Rush, Grab Me by the Balls, Never Let Me Go. Daniel Bruhl, Chris Hemsworth are rivals, James Hunt and Niki Lauda, respectively, and this takes place in 1976. I love true story films, don't I? Fighting films. You do. Sport films even, and it's Formula One motor racing, and it's almost like brothers if they weren't related. Chris Hemsworth is the absolute natural. He's always done it. He's always been pretty good. Daniel Bruhl is all about the numbers. I love how he says in it, he's a complete contrast. Chris Hemsworth is like, we do this because we love it. We do this because it's the best. The thrill of getting out there and overtaking people and putting your life on the line. It's unlike anything else. And Daniel Bruhl's like, if I can do something else better, I would. I do this because I'm good at it. I do this because I make money.
Every time I get in the car, there is 20% chance I could die. They accept this, but no more.
Exactly, man. It's so good, and it is a true character study, and you don't disagree with either of them. You want both of them to win.
Yeah, there's no clear villain or hero.
Nah, exactly.
It more comes down to what kind of person you are.
Exactly, different ideologies. The cinematography, the score is fucking breathtaking. Some of the best ever.
The sort of zoom shots he uses in this work really well, and then he tried them again in the Heart of the Sea, and they didn't really work.
Not as well. I still like it. No, not as well. But nah, they're fucking... It's a lot of wides, and then the zooms for, like, the clutch, the change, the gear stick, back out wide. A lot of those shots that are in rain. And then, if you know the true... I'm not going to actually spoil it for you. If you know the true story, you know. But something happens in about halfway through the movie to Daniel Bruhl's character, or person he's playing, Niki Lauda in real life, who's still alive. James Hunt isn't. Rest his soul, but something happens to him that completely changes the game, and it changes everyone else's, including James Hunt's perspective on the race, and it completely changes his character, and they kind of flip. He becomes able not to be able to hold onto anything really in real life, and Daniel Bruhl becomes monogamous, and he picks up Olivia Wilde. Good catch, by the way. It's
Bruhl doesn't get Olivia Wilde.
Yes, he does.
No, Hemsworth does.
No, Bruhl does. They sleep
he
together.
Has some other... Oh, do they sleep together, do they?
No. He's with Olivia Wilde. No, you're right.
No, Hemsworth
Alexander.
He
gets Alexandra.
She's with that
Lara,
other chick.
hey.
Yeah.
Alexandra Lara, yeah. No, you're right. I was thinking... No, Olivia Wilde's she's the model, who's like...
There must be some makeup or something that needs your vapid mush to flog it.
Your vapid mush to flog it. One of the best lines ever. There must be some powder that needs your vapid mush to flog it. Yeah,
the name's Hunt. It rhymes with cunt.
Hey, Hunt. Yeah, man. Oh, it's so entertaining. It's so funny. This is bad. Can we change it? You can't say that. Why not? It's a Ferrari. It's a shitbox.
When he just picks up those hitchhikers, or he hitchhikes, and then he just fucking takes them for a fucking spin, and they were like, Niki Lauda.
And Alexandra Lara thinks it's because of her, but they stop and get out the car, and they're like, Niki Lauda. Yeah, and I love how
I have really good ass that tells me how to read a car.
And Alexandra thinks that he's not a race driver because she pictures all racing drivers as James Hunt. They're like, no, Formula One drivers, they're sexy, they're long hair, they're shirt open. You're no driver.
He's a great driver, but an immortal fuck.
I would not want to follow that. Me. But no, yeah, man, it's so good. And something happens to Chris Hemsworth's character after Daniel Bruhl's character has a kind of what would you call it? I'm trying to. He does an interview in front of all the people. What do you call that?
Press conference.
Press conference. Yeah, that's the one. In front of everyone, and something happens with one of the reporters who's just doing his job. He's a fucking dick. And it really offends Daniel Bruhl's character. Something that happens to him, and he leaves. And Chris Hemsworth. I don't know if this is me because I have a massive crush on him and his blue eyes, or because it's fucking awesome. Probably both. But he picks the dude up, throws him into a closet, and staples his fucking clipboard to his head. And he's like, now ask your wife if you look pretty, and walks out. I'm like, yeah, boy. And it's also kind of because Daniel Bruhl also blames what happens on James Hunt because it is his fault. Kind of. But I love it.
One of the most underrated movies of this decade.
Oh, easily. Fucking brilliant. I want to watch it right now. I might.
I want to watch half of these right now, and I don't know if I will. But I might
watch $1 Million Baby and Rush simultaneously.
Hey,
they'll end it.
Can I just chuck on Rush on my TV and Warrior on my laptop and just go to town?
Oh fuck yeah, please. Anyway,
how long was Rush? 2 hours. Okay, not that anyone cares about that, but yeah, that was actually a really good top 5. There's a lot of fucking quality there. So hopefully you listening gained a recommendation or two out of this.
Oh, I actually do want to say a true story too. I used to watch John Flickinger all the time.
True story.
And then I
watched the film starring James Franco and Jonah Hill.
Shut the fuck up. Disappointing film. I watched one where John Flickinger and Chris Stuckman, two cucks of the movie reviewing industry. I used to really like them both, watch them religiously. But they go and trade films together, and John Flickinger's like, yeah, I'm trading my Blu-ray of Rush. I really liked it when it came out. It was in my top 10, but I rewatched it and I don't really like it. And Chris Stuckman's like, yeah, it doesn't really hold up.
Did you unsubscribe immediately?
And that's the day. Honestly, God, hand to my heart, hand to God. I'm a man of God. That's the day I stopped watching Dr. Kincher and I unsubscribed to Chris Duckman. I watch his stuff for like tentpole movies, but I swear to God, unsubscribed to them both.
I'm still
that's how much
subscribed
it
to them,
offended
but
me.
I don't watch their videos.
That is how
It's
much
the
it
ultimate
fucking
power
offended
move.
me. Hey, right? Fuck you. And I left him a pretty mean comment. I might try and go find it, but it was pretty rude.
As we wrap up,
About
just
Rush.
go and find freaking
All right.
mean comment.
Yeah, that was great.
So yeah, that's it for our top 5. That was a lot of fun.
What did we learn
just-
today, Jacob?
I think we're just about done, but just before we go, we need to talk about what we learned today. And I think I know the main takeaway from this
thinking
podcast.
of the same thing.
Are you with me?
Honestly,
I just want a big congratulations.
Before his fucking time.
Adam McKay, Oscar nominated writer, probably soon to be Oscar nominated director, Golden Globe. Just all the love in the world to Adam McKay, and we learned that he's a fucking boss.
This was not even scripted, or we didn't even talk about this. This is just how our brains
It's just
work.
the natural. It's the only conclusion.
Right, Adam McKay is a genius before his time. People are going to go rewatch Step Brothers and retroactively nominate it for an Oscar. And it's just going to happen. Congratulations to the big man. We love you.
That's what we learn.
Yeah, thanks for listening to this. We're going to start doing these more frequently. I know we say that a lot, but coming up to awards season, it's definitely going to happen. And yeah, we're keen. Thanks for watching,
I'm
guys.
moving house soon. Maybe I'll give a bit of a tour of the new place, you know. But I still haven't done a movie night video.
Yeah, I haven't done one in a while.
I have to get on that. But I'm sad because I'm not allowed to hang anything on the walls in the new place. So it's a goodbye to the movie posters.
Well, if your room will look so much bigger.
Hey, I'm going to try and deck it out with shelves and stuff.
Good man.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Cheers, lads. I love film. Jacob loves children.
I just
Probably
waited for you to
shouldn't be
say it
saying
so
that
that I can
anymore.
still host the Oscars one day.
No, I'm deleting all of this as soon as any of us get remotely famous. It's gone.
Yeah, probably. So enjoy it. Well, all 17 of you. Thanks for listening. Honestly, we really appreciate it. And any feedback
you lasted this
is very much welcomed. Even if it's just you saying, this is the worst podcast on the internet, please kill yourselves.
We'll use that on the Blu-ray. Yeah, honestly. And I might take it to heart and do it, but it's content. Fill the
and the
void
blood
for me.
will be on your hands.
I'll leave you. I'll quote you in my suicide note. Like it's gonna be up there. All right,
I'm going to quote Jaren in my suicide note.
Fuck you.
Peace out, lads. You've just listened to the Children of Film podcast.
Man, it sucks to be you.